Never gonna grow up, never gonna slow down. We were shining like lighters in the dark in the middle of a rock show.
And we are underway. This will come back out to the 25-yard line, first down and 10 for DeAndre Francois, the redshirt freshman quarterback out of Orlando, 6'2", 205 pounds. Last week, got off to a real good start, was 6 for 6 and 104 yards passing in the first quarter. And don't sleep on Dalvin Cook, folks. He took the first touch of the game last week all the way to the house for the score. First and 10 from the 25 for the Seminoles. Little reverse to Kermit Whitfield. He's got that world-class speed, and he's brought down right around midfield by Des Lawrence. First and 10 for the Seminoles on the 21-yard gain run.
Well, Jonesy, the North Carolina defense has struggled to contain the football, to keep it inside. Not a surprise that the first thing Florida State does is attack the perimeter with the reverse. They're going to attack the edge as often as possible today.
From the 46. Here's Cook on his first carry. Runs it into the boundary, and a nice gain pushed out right around the 45 by Lawrence once again.
Well, when you don't set the edge, and that's been an issue for North Carolina, you see the good blocks on the edge. Cook is now out free on the outside. A really good block out there to free him, but that has been the Tar Heels' issue on defense, in run defense, keeping the ball inside.
And the Seminoles looking at a very auspicious second and short. Lining up out of the eye this time. Rudolph in motion, then sets. It's Cook again. Creases it right up the middle. And a nice gain right on the edge of field goal range for Ricky Aguayo. Well, he got off to a slow start. Had just 228 yards in the first 3 weeks. And then busting loose last week against South Florida. That time he got 9. First and 10 from the 36. Freddie Stevenson leading the way, the fullback on the reverse. It's Whitfield again with his second touch. Whitfield brought down at the 28-yard line.
Well, if you're a Tar Heel fan, at least they turned the ball back in that side. That's a second reverse we've seen. At least that didn't get to the edge, but still a good gain for Florida State. And Florida State just picking at the edge, the perimeter, making it clear that they're going to go after that until North Carolina finds an answer.
Got 12 personnel this time. Actually, 2 backs, 2 tight ends. Cook this time stopped up right around the line of scrimmage. That's a win finally for that Tar Heel defense. Aaron Crawford leading the way on the tackle, sets up a 3rd down on the loss of 1. And Nas Jones, one of the leaders up front, number 90, 6'5", 300-pounder. He's played large for them this year. 3rd and 3. They've got a bunch of tall receivers that can make plays for the Seminoles.
Yeah, given the way they've been running it, though, probably not going to put it in the air.
Francois out of shotgun. Takes off himself, but he's tackled short by about 1.5 yards by Aaron Crawford again. Picked up 2 in a very interesting 4th and short coming out. And out comes Ricky Aguayo, leading the field goal unit.
Turns out to be a pretty good stop for North Carolina after Florida State kind of shoved it down their throat. With 5 straight runs, they get a nice little stop, and now a field goal attempt. Good bounce back.
45-yard attempt by Aguayo. And he pulls it left. Just his 2nd miss of the season. Now 11 of 13. A moment ago, Ricky Aguayo from 45 yards out, missing by that much. And North Carolina head coach Larry Fedora signaling a win for his defense after giving up several good gains on the first several carries of this ball game. And right now, Mitch Trubisky in at 1st and 10 for Carolina's offense. Switzer in motion, but they run it between the tackles to Elijah Hood. Brought down by DeMarcus Christmas. As we look at the storylines for the game, is Florida State back. Dalvin Cook coming off a big week last week in that win against South Florida. 267 yards. This is Hood with a spin, about a yard shy of the first down. And we got a couple of quarterbacks that can really air it out, especially Trubisky, who's completing almost 75%, actually 70% of his passes on the season. 3rd and 1. The Tar Heels opening drive of the ball game. It's going to be Hood, and he picks up the first down and keeps those legs churning. Got about 6. And the Seminole defense has given up a lot of points this year, more than they traditionally do, especially on opening drives.
Yeah, you can see they've struggled, and what you don't see there is that a lot of that has been big plays, and this offense can throw it and deliver big plays.
Little receiver screen to Switzer. That's a big part, pardon me, that was Austin Prohl. That's a big part of their offense, isn't it, Rod?
It is, but I think this offense really is focused around number 3, Switzer. I mean, the screen game to him and getting him down the field, that opens up everything. I think you'll see pretty quickly Trubisky will start to look his way.
Switzer on the fake jet screen. They give it to Hood. Dashes that defensive front for the Seminoles. And a nice gain for the first down at the 42-yard line. Good block up front from Tucker and a 12-yard gain. There's a look at Trubisky's numbers. That last pass that he completed was his 203rd straight pass without an interception. 1st and 10, Logan in the backfield now. And he gets the call. He's the guy with more speed, and he gets to the edge for another nice gain for Carolina. Trey Marshall finally pushing him out of bounds, Rob.
You know, Jonesy, Trubisky is a guy who you have to be impressed with. I mean, he waited his turn to get his shot at North Carolina in an era when you see a lot of guys transfer after their freshman year. He's waited his turn, and he started really hot. 10 touchdown passes, no picks on the season.
A guy that has really won the respect of that huddle. 2nd and 5 for North Carolina. He pulls it out. The pass complete at the 27-yard line to Bug Howard, who caught the game-winning touchdown last week in that comeback win against Pitt.
And Trubisky will go with an up-tempo pace, particularly after a first down. This Florida State defense has struggled with pace this season. They've made a lot of mistakes when offenses go fast.
The Seminoles defense on its heels right now, collectively. Another completion at the 19-yard line. Once again, it's Prohl, pushed out of bounds by Tavares McFadden. Another good game.
And Trubisky gets the ball out really fast. He's a very accurate quarterback, reads very well, knows where to go with the football. Very difficult to sack him.
Trubisky going to take off and down, finds his back, Logan. Logan reaching for the pylon, touchdown. Got there with that last gasp effort lunge. And North Carolina striking first. What a great effort by Logan.
Yeah, first question, was he beyond the line of scrimmage? No, you see the line there, the black line. Looks like he was in good shape behind it when he let it go. And Trubisky did a tremendous job of keeping his wits about himself and looking for his outlet, Logan. And how about Logan finishing it at the goal line there?
Charles Kelly, the defensive coordinator for the Seminoles, trying to tweak things for the last couple of weeks. And Logan with the touchdown catch and dash to the end zone. Carolina, after dropping its opening game, pretty happy right now. Cheesing for the cameras. The Florida State Seminole defense giving up another touchdown early in the ball game on an opening drive.
Yeah, another rough start. And the difference for this one, it wasn't one big play. It was the balance of North Carolina. 5 runs, 4 passes.
this kick return. It'll go out and come out to the 25, and Mikey Bart. Francois to throw again. Finds his target near the first down to the 40-yard line. That's Bobo Wilson.
You see how Francois is so comfortable throwing that ball over the middle, dropping it behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. Really nice touch on that throw.
One of the early defining moments in his career was that opening season comeback win. They were down 22 points.
He showed his
against Ole
toughness.
Miss.
Huh? He took some shots in that game.
Move the chains on the first down. From the 40. Little bootleg action. Francois wide open to his tight end, Saunders. And Saunders brought down near the 26-yard line. Well executed by the Seminoles.
It's just a drag. There he is right here. He's going to come all the way across to match Francois as he rolls out. And it's a really well-run route by Gavin. And he is the primary receiver. Well done by DeAndre Francois, looking for him.
Others out of the Bahamas. Bimini. First down and 10. Cook the lone back after the 33-yard gain. Cook with nowhere to go up the middle. Stopped right near the line of scrimmage by Collins.
Yeah, run blitz on first down. Gene Chizik, defensive coordinator for North Carolina, trying to dial up some first down pressures to create negative plays.
Yeah, that was one of his goals coming into the ball game, Rod. We talked about the fact that they gave up too many catastrophic plays defensively this year. In excess of 700 yards of explosive plays. They win first down, setting up 2nd and 12. Behind his receiver, and incomplete for Wilson. Sets up 3rd down and 12.
Yeah.
Good heat up front by Nas Jones.
I'm surprised at how much pressure the Tar Heels are able to get on Francois. There's Gene Chizik up there, and he was determined to create some negative plays. These first 2 downs, a little bit more pressure, being aggressive, creating this 3rd down. Now, will he come again on 3rd down?
It's a pass once again. Francois through the hands of his receiver at the 2-yard line. Rudolph should have made that catch. Now it's 4th down, and they've already had a couple of missed field goals. One was blocked.
Well, they're going to try another one here.
Ricky Aguayo, the number 3 ranked place kicker in the nation in high school last year, misses a 3rd one today. Certainly, at least for now, not following in the family lineage of fine place kicking. His brother Roberto will be making a call to him soon. And welcome back, everyone. 7-0 North Carolina with the lead. 3 missed field goals by the Seminoles. Part of the early storyline in this ball game, as well as the staunch nature of the North Carolina defense. That's Logan with a gain of 2. Meanwhile, defensively, Rod, on 3rd downs, this North Carolina defense is winning.
Yeah, you heard Jimbo Fisher talk about you stop, you don't. They can't stop you. It's wrong. Tar Heels have been stopping Florida State on 3rd down.
Once again, it's Logan. Still on his feet. Into Seminole territory at the 40-yard line. But a nice block up front by Lucas Crowley. As we wind down on the end of the first quarter, a 30-yard gain.
That's the end of the first
by
quarter.
TJ Logan. Matthew Thomas injured on the field for the Seminoles. Very interesting, compelling first quarter here in Tallahassee. Back with the second after this. The action, North Carolina with the football. First play of the second quarter from Florida State's 40-yard line. Leading 7-0. Trubisky taking a shot, and incomplete in the end zone. Intended for Austin Prohl.
That's his first incomplete pass. He's 5 of 6, but we really haven't seen them open up the offense yet for North Carolina. But Trubisky hangs in there as he takes a big shot off his back foot. Lucky this wasn't picked off. But you're still waiting for them to try and get the ball to Switzer and to get Hollins going.
A real potent receiving core. Switzer in particular, coming off a big week, 208 yards receiving last week. Here he is on the little bubble screen, pushed out of bounds in field goal range by Marcus Lewis. 7-yard gain on the play. 3rd down coming up. 3 yards to go. Trubisky finds Switzer again for the 1st down. Okay, Adnan on the toss sweep. Logan getting to the edge, squares those shoulders to get the 1st down. And T.J. Logan moving the chains again for North Carolina. They are going at a hellacious pace.
Yeah, and that pace and the motion and the like, you see Florida State not even lined up yet.
Logan again, lacerating that front. Touchdown, Carolina. A 13-yard scamper for the score.
Jonesy, that little misdirection got the linebackers to take false steps. You see number 6, Thomas, in the middle of your screen, take the step the wrong way. You get linemen out in front, and Logan strolls into the end zone.
North Carolina bringing about a smattering of boos here at Doak Campbell Stadium. North Carolina an extra point away from going up 14-0. A deafening silence here at Doak Campbell Stadium as Logan goes in for the score. He's caught a touchdown and now rushed for one. T.J. Logan with the touchdown a moment ago. 5 rushes today, 65 yards. What was the key, Rod?
Hey, just watch the motion. You're going to get Thomas moved out, and you're going to get Hoskins moved out because they go with the motion that North Carolina uses to confuse them. Opens up the center, and Logan just gets into the 2nd level where the linebackers have vacated. Nicely designed play by North Carolina.
Florida State in an all too familiar position right now. Trailing once again like they did against Ole Miss in several other games early this year, down at the 22 and kept in constant contact with them via text. Cook on the catch, runs for the 1st down. Picks up about 13 on the play. Stewart pushing him out of bounds. A lot going on down there on the field with Florida State. Their defensive coordinator, Coach Kelly, Charles Kelly, there imploring his defense to tune up a little bit, trying to get the right fits defensively. 1st and 10 from the 35. Cook on a little counter, picks up 2. Let's go down to Quinn for more on that defense.
Coach Kelly in damage control mode, borderline panic mode, telling his guys, anticipate the motion, as if he had said that all week long. And for some reason, there's a separation right now between preparation and performance on game day. This defense, once again, is reeling.
Well, Q, you're right. That motion on that touchdown play thoroughly confused both linebackers.
Francois with time on the rollout. Finds his man at midfield. That's tight end Ryan Izzo. And Izzo with another 1st down. You know, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that Derwin James is one of their key players right there defensively. And he is a big part of what they do. They could really use him right now.
He is a difference maker. He can play a number of positions. He can make big plays. And when you don't have him out there, it hurts your defense. But, you know, they're struggling. I mean, that confidence level in the Florida State defense seems to be down. They're having trouble dealing with the pace and with the motion. It's a problem.
Expecting him back for the Clemson game. A little bootleg action complete once again to Ryan Izzo. Yeah, back to James. Coach Kelly says it's like losing your quarterback on defense. Brings so much to the field for them. A 6-yard gain, and looking at second down now here for the Seminoles. Still held scoreless.
You know, who would have thought the North Carolina defense that has struggled most of the year, getting up 30 points a game, will have shut out so far Florida State.
2nd and 4. High snap. Cook picks up about 2 on the play, leaving them with a 3rd down and 2 to go. Dalvin Cook out of Miami, Florida, Miami Central High School. And South Florida, one of the great programs in the country. Here's a look at his numbers today in comparison to last week when he had 267 yards rushing.
So far, sort of held in check. No huge runs. He opened last week with a 75-yard touchdown run.
4 receivers out on this formation. Francois under heat, took a hit over the head of Bobo Wilson, and 4th down coming up. And DeAndre Francois took a lick here, Rod.
Well, they ran a nice little stunt. You see it comes right up the middle, and a big hit. Francois could not step into that throw because of the pressure.
And got a punting situation. Logan Tyler coming in for his first punt, averaging 43.5 yards per punt on the season. He was actually the #1 ranked place kicker in high school a year ago. True freshman out of Missouri. And he places it inside the 10, where Switzer calls for the first catch on the 33-yard punt.
You know, this Florida State offense, I mean, has just struggled. You know, you think about what Jimbo said to his team. You stop you. Quit stopping yourself. Look what they've done. Missed a field goal, had a block kick, missed another one, and a punt. And how about the drop touchdown pass, you know, that Rudolph had down around the goal line. So Jimbo could just take his speech from last week and package it and say, you are stopping you.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he wanted to do that coming in this ball game, and getting involved there with the sidelines. 1st down and 10, North Carolina. Mitch Trubisky, the starting quarterback, out of the shotgun. Hands it off to Logan in space down to the 19-yard line. You know, let's get back to Mitch Trubisky. We alluded to it a little bit earlier, Rod. He was the backup for a few years and waited patiently, winning the respect of his teammates as he hands it off to Logan again. And, you know, backup for 3 years, struggled at times, but invariably went to work and never even entertained the idea of transferring.
Well, he was offered by North Carolina when no one else offered him, and then later in the process, Ohio State and everybody else came in, but he stuck with his commitment to North Carolina.
Former Mr. Football in Ohio, 2012. 1st and 10. Over to Switzer, complete at the 27-yard line, and still has that streak of well over 200 passes without an interception. Let's go down to Q.
And Coach Fedora mentioning about Trubisky, the importance of his parents. And you think about so many times when a guy transfers, the decision will come from home, not from campus. But giving the Trubisky parents a lot of credit for their loyalty and their faith. And they're seeing that their son Mitch really loved his time on campus.
Doing a great job here this year. Coming into the game, completing 75% of his passes. Hands it off to Hood. He gets about 2.5 yards before DeMarcus Walker makes the tackle on the play. Let's talk about DeMarcus Walker a little bit, number 44 for the Seminoles. A key in their pass rush, but kind of conspicuous by his silence so far.
Well, he's going to have a huge impact on this game before it's over, even on this 3rd down. He's a guy that has to get penetration. They need big plays from him.
3rd and 2. See if he can get some pressure. Doesn't. And Switzer makes the catch. And a lot of room after the catch for the 1st down to the 40-yard line of the Seminoles.
You know, you have to know where number 3 is. You have to really double him. He is the focal point of this offense, particularly, you know, the passing attack. They'll hand it to him, but they like to get him in the slot, quick outs, quick screens. He's critical.
Trubisky with time in the seam again. Switzer makes it 1st and goal, and as you said, you got to find number 3.
And how about the pace? They're going right to the line of scrimmage. Florida State has had issues with this. Can they get lined up?
They barely do. Hood brought down at the 5 by DeMarcus Walker.
You have to know where this guy is. No one gets a hand on him. He just finds the soft spot behind the linebackers in front of the safeties. That's trouble. Number 3 is the key to this offense.
Trubisky trying to do it himself. Took out his do-it-yourself kit and scores the touchdown. He outran Nate Andrews, the safety, to the pylon.
Does he break the plane? How about that dive? That is good. Completely into the end zone.
I'd score that dive a 10 based on his form alone, Rod. His 4th rushing touchdown of the season. Florida State was the favorite in this game. But North Carolina has scored on 3 of its 4 possessions so far. With under 7 minutes to go in the first half, Seminoles are shook so far. And the quarterback, Mitch Trubisky, the guy who they call Mr. Biscuit, just gave him a 6-piece plus a biscuit. Back after this. Time they've been down by 20 or more since 2008. Francois trying to get a little back here and does. What a catch off a pinpoint pass to Bobo Wilson for the 1st down, and perhaps the biggest gain of the day for the Seminoles into North Carolina territory.
Yeah, big play. You had Wilson coming from the opposite side, and this is a defense that's given up an awful lot. You move the pocket, buy a little bit of time for Francois, and he drops in a perfectly thrown ball.
34-yard gain down to the 41. 1st and 10. Francois over the middle behind his receiver, but caught once again by Bobo Wilson. Remember, Francois already brought Florida State back from a 22-point deficit in the season opener against Ole Miss.
Well, Francois works the middle anytime he sees the 2 safeties instead of 1 safety, and they're showing it again. 2 safeties in the middle of the field. They try to work the inside.
This is the part of the field where they have struggled today. The Carolina defense has come up big. Little predetermined run by Francois, and he took a hit at the 14-yard line. Seminoles in the red zone here, Adnan, and it's Dalvin Cook off the little counter. Tiptoes down the sideline and put his hat down and pushed out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Working
5.
Working the edge, working the outside, where North Carolina has struggled to contain the football. The last 2 runs, again, Francois and Cook picking on that perimeter.
Dalvin Cook following in the footsteps of so many great runners here, including Devontae Freeman, who played here at Florida State, who's a mentor of Dalvin Cook's, both from Miami Central High School. 2nd and 5. Cook cuts it back. Seminoles on the board. Boy, Rod, when he puts his foot in the ground, it's something, isn't it?
Yeah, watch him get everybody flowing to the left and then just plant that left foot, cut back inside. North Carolina's linebackers overrun this.
His 32nd career touchdown in Florida State. With just under 5 minutes to go in the first half, finally get on the board, and the extra point good by Aguayo. Maybe that gets him a little confidence back. Dalvin Cook in the shadows of I-95, 95th Street and 17th Ave in Miami, Florida. Adnan, I'm going to have Rod buy me some of that gumbo from Harry's restaurant. We sit down and watch that game back at the hotel tonight.
I'm all right with that.
Oh, this is Logan, who already has a couple of touchdowns tackled at the 23. Back. Switzer on the jet sweep. And Switzer quiets the crowd momentarily on that 8-yard gain on the play. 3 touchdowns on 4 drives. For North Carolina, they have been very efficient offensively. 2nd and 3. And the tempo very much in their favor. Hood picking up the first down across the 35 to the 37. He gets 7.
Well, Jonesy, the surprising thing is that North Carolina has run as well as they have today. I mean, rushing the ball is sort of the secondary thing for them, and they've done it well today.
Trubisky hands it off to Francis. His 2nd carry on this drive. We've seen Hood, Logan, and now Francis in the backfield for North Carolina. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you need a play if you're Florida State. You need negative plays. Find a way to get Walker involved.
Trubisky, wide open Switzer. Let's see where they mark it. They're going to give him the first down at the 39-yard line. Switzer again. Trubisky Rod has completed his last 9 in a row.
No pressure. And the Florida State defense is struggling to find a way to get pressure on Trubisky. And Walker couldn't get by the running back who cut him that time. They can't get into the backfield.
1st and 10 on the fringes of field goal range. Under 2 minutes to go. Trubisky downfield, wide open, caught. And out of bounds at the 5. It's Bug Howard. 1st and goal, North Carolina. And this Seminole defense getting shredded right now.
Oh, man. And how about hurrying right to the line of scrimmage? Hands on hips for some of the Florida State players.
34-yard.
Not ready for the snap.
34-yard gain. Hood straight ahead between the tackles. Down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal. Clock running. 1:40 to go in the first half. First half dominated by North Carolina.
Have you ever recalled seeing Florida State's defense be pushed around like they have this season and in this first half?
They have been thoroughly beaten. And seemingly fatigued. DeMarcus Walker breathing heavily there. 2nd and goal. Trubisky. Incomplete, intended for Switzer. And Switzer comes up limping.
You know, and sometimes you don't want to rush, hurry as you see Switzer come off. Looks like that it's his left hand or so. But you've got plenty of time. You got a couple of timeouts. You want to get the right play on 3rd down if you're the Tar Heels. No reason to rush now, but here's that ball as he tries to reach back and get it.
3rd and goal. Hood fumbled it. Seminoles recover. What a stand by Florida State. Big hit by Matthew Thomas to create the fumble.
That saves points. It gives momentum. And you see Thomas just come in and poke it out with his right hand. Came off the edge and wraps up Hood. Look at the right hand. I don't know that Hood had it secured completely, but Thomas got that right hand in there to poke it out.
Boy, we may want to circle this play and this moment. With time winding down in the first half, if they go in here, it's a 28-7 game.
Yeah. You're a little backed up here. You haven't played well. Get to the locker room. Get to the locker room and regroup.
Francois with other thoughts, taking a shot here. And incomplete, intended for Travis Rudolph. Let's go down to Quint. Q?
Guys, interesting development. Elijah Wood is being walked to the locker room early. As he was coming off after that last fumble, he looked a little dizzy. He looked a little faint-headed and not all there, and he's getting helped off right now. Not sure if it happened on the fumble play or maybe the play prior, which contributed to the lack of ball security. Also, Switzer on the sideline. You guys mentioned he came off with what appeared to be a left thumb injury. He's doing a lot better than Elijah is right now.
Great observations there, Quint, from the sidelines, and 2 key players. One of them there, Hood. As that brings an end to the first half of play, and a chorus of boos smattering down on this pristine field here at Doak Campbell Stadium. As Francois and the Seminoles trail North Carolina 21-7. We're going to go to the Lexus halftime report. Guys, a 22-game home winning streak on the line.
Coach, how do you deal with that turnabout right there?
No, we'll have to go in, regroup. We can't put the ball on the ground. We're not going to win if we turn the football over. So we've wasted 2 series now on a 4th down and short, and then right down there on the 3-yard line.
What has been most critical in terms of running the ball?
We've been able to run the ball effectively. I think we've done a great job. They hit us with a blitz there off the edge that our guy didn't pick up, and that's what happened.
Thank you.
See a little bit of a surprise so far. Carolina 3-1, leading 21-7. And now time for Ready for Kickoff. Brought to you by Cintas.
So keep in mind the things that you need in the second half adjustments. You got to be more productive in your passing again. No consistency from Florida State, and they're 0-4 on 3rd down. That's a problem. The defense, how about the rushing attack of North Carolina? That's a surprise. They don't run it that well, but they're running it today. For North Carolina, keep doing what you're doing. You've got a receiver that's already gone for 100 yards in Switzer with 8 catches. The rushing attack, 142 yards. So they've got the right kind of balance. And Trubisky, what is he, 15 of 17 in the first half?
Yeah.
So for North Carolina offensively, keep doing what you're doing. Mix it up, and you're keeping the defense off balance.
When you talk about Florida State trying to make the adjustments on Trubisky, what kind of defensive things are you looking at doing to change?
Well, I think clearly they have to find a way to get a little bit of pressure on him. They haven't been able to do that. The other thing is that Switzer is killing him. He has 8 catches for 100 yards. When he's in the slot, they haven't been able to double him, so they got to find a way to really kind of thwart him because he keeps the chains moving for North Carolina.
Yeah, 8 catches for 100 yards in the first half, and Florida State looking for a little bit more pass rush, and they'll have to get it done here early in the 3rd quarter because North Carolina will start off with possession of the football. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. 1st down and 10. 25-yard line. That's Switzer in motion. He catches the bubble screen on the fly. Got a block on the edge, but not much of a gain. Probably about 3 yards on the play. Close to, well, maybe closer to 5.
Partner, this is a critical drive here. This is about momentum. Florida State has a chance to get a little bit. North Carolina can get control.
Pass complete. Close to another 1st down and a late flag on the play. Mac Hollins making the catch and the run. Trubisky, by the way, completing 82% of his passes, folks, since losing the opener to Georgia. He has been on fire. Here's the call.
Personal foul, defense number 37, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Late hit. Already down. You see Myers with the spear with the shoulder. And back to Trubisky. He's got a quarterback rating, a QBR of 86.2, number 5 in the country.
Play action. Trubisky with plenty of time, and there's the pass rush finally for Florida State. Ball loose too. Covered by North Carolina, but DeMarcus Walker brought the heat.
Well, he had his outlet receiver Vargas, the tight end. He didn't see him and didn't get rid of the football. Held it a bit long, and fortunately for North Carolina, they didn't lose the ball. That easily could have been picked up, but it's the first pressure by Florida State this half.
2nd and 17. Trubisky. Great improvising skills. Catch made by Mac Hollins. Hollins actually last year led all FBS schools in yards per reception. Back quickly to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 7. Switzer. The inside receiver to the top of your screen. Little pressure. Trubisky. Boy, he escapes. I'm not sure how. And he was lucky just to get back to the line of scrimmage. A.J. Westbrook finally making the tackle for the Seminoles.
He's 6'3", 225. Shakes off some of the pressure. Can't shake all of it. But if you're a Florida State fan, that series, the first sign of life defensively with pressure to affect the passing attack, that was hurting them.
Looks like they're going to bring in Nick Weiler to attempt a field goal. It's going to be a long one.
51 yards.
As long this year is 49. And this is going to be his first attempt career-wise from beyond 50. And he pushes it off to the right. So the Seminoles defensively get off to a good start here in this third quarter. Who knows, maybe they got North Carolina right where they want them. They've come back from 22 already this year. First and 10. Cook on the sweep. Cook picks up the first down for Florida State.
Bread and butter stretch play to get Cook to the outside.
20 touches was kind of the goal for them today. Right?
Yeah, I think they're going to go over that. I mean, he probably will have to touch it 25 times for them to win this game, whether it's rushing it or catching it in the flat. They're struggling on third down. They're struggling to throw the ball a bit. So they need a little bit more consistency.
Little play action, Francois. Downfield. And incomplete. That was Cook out as a receiver.
Just a wheel route out of the backfield. Again, trying to get the ball to Cook. Get him enough touches, let him impact the game. We just missed him, overshot him.
Francois now 8 of 15 passing for 158 yards.
How much do you think the whole LSU, Les Miles fired, talk about Jimbo being a candidate distracted this team this week?
There was a lot in the local media and even nationally about prospects and possibilities of Jimbo Fisher changing dresses. Cook out of the backfield, makes the catch this time. Out in space, picks up another Seminole first down, and they want a late hit on the sidelines too.
Well, Cook can erase some bad plays, some bad situations, and you flare it out to him, and here comes the late hit afterwards. No flag.
Almost looked like just a push in the back.
Yeah. Well, you know, but they called one earlier today.
Yeah.
That was a little late one, so fans are saying equal time for the Seminoles.
Cook, an improved pass receiver this year, rounding out his skill sets. 4 receiver formation. They give it to Cook again. Nice little sidestep to elude one tackler, then forced out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. Picked up one, Rod.
To your point about Jimbo Fisher, when all the noise started about LSU, he came out and he said, hey, I'm not talking about this. And then the next day he came out and he said, look, I love it here at Florida State. I plan to be here a long time, thinking that would eliminate the noise. And maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it certainly was an issue early in the week.
2nd and 9. I wonder how much that might affect recruiting moving forward. That was Patrick in the backfield. Francois looking downfield. Wide open is tight end. Izzo with space. Touchdown, Florida State. But there's a flag down. There's a flag at the 9-yard line. Here's the call.
Holding. Offense number 9. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's against Patrick. And that wipes out a 43-yard touchdown. Looked like he might have had a grab of the uniform there.
They got a lot of cloth there. You see, it's just a throwback. And you'll see 9 show up right down here, and that arm wrapped around the outside of Collins, number 23. And keep those hands inside, you can get away with it.
On 1st and 10. Patrick looking for atonement. Ball came loose. still looking for a call. No call yet. Touchdown. So Patrick makes up for that penalty. Oh, this might come back.
Yeah, now Collins
did
knocks
recover
it out, but does he recover it before going out of bounds?
Yeah, he got both feet in.
Yeah, he's got control.
Boy,
that's a heck of a play.
Great concentration, partner. That's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, 8th of his career. And the Seminoles just 7 points back of North Carolina now. Patrick and Francois, former high school buddies and elementary school friends as well. Good recovery. Back after this. And this was the scene a little bit earlier yesterday. Our very own Quint Kessenica. I think this was a color by numbers job, Rod, as Quint with a very deft touch at midfield.
He should have gone for the colors. Not the white. Give me some of the other stuff. Come on, Q.
I'm not sure they trusted him with more than just those few strokes there, but he did a great job. North Carolina will start from the 25. Okay, let's see if the Seminoles bring some heat here. Nick Polino in at guard in place of him. Trubisky wide open. Pro. They turned him loose down the sidelines, and a big first down. I'm talking about room service, folks. He was really wide open for 44 yards.
Yeah, another blown assignment. Look at here. This is just a switch. The number 2 receiver inside. Miscommunication between Florida State. They've had that all season.
Trubisky hasn't thrown an interception now. 227 consecutive passes with that last completion. That was Logan. Picked up a couple on the play. 2nd down. That's the kind of completion takes the steam out of the defense a little bit. Trubisky with some pressure on him. Tried to make a play, but that one incomplete, intended for Kroll. He was way out of bounds. So Josh Sweat with the pressure.
Kroll was by himself again. There's an issue in the secondary for Florida State. Now watch this. I mean, again, it's the same situation that they misread a 2-receiver set and left the guy completely wide open.
Communication an issue for the Seminoles. Something that Coach Fisher has tried to rectify during the last couple of weeks. Third and 9. Trubisky. Another first down to Switzer.
He catches everything. And that was a bullet.
Up at the line of scrimmage again quickly. That's Logan, stomped up by Hoskins.
Jonesy, this is where they miss Hood. You know, Hood's the big inside runner at 230 pounds. Logan is about $185, $190. That extra power inside that you need down here, you don't have.
Let's keep an eye on number 84, Howard. He's that tall, rangy receiver that got the game winner last week. Trubisky wide open and dropped by Carl Tucker. He had a touchdown in his grasp, and he couldn't squeeze it. Might have been, Rod, a little low, but certainly catchable.
Yeah, but this is the 3rd play on the left side of the defense where the 2nd receiver out has been wide open. Florida State completely blowing communication on how to pick up that 2nd guy. And North Carolina keeps going back to it with a different guy.
See if they do it again here. I mean, those guys on that side of the field for Florida State playing like they've never met each other. 3rd and 9. Trubisky complete, lunging for the pylon touchdown. Hollins with the score.
Remember, Jonesy, all he has to do is break the plane. The ball has to break the plane. Watch the presence of mind here. Stops himself, gathers. Breaks the plane inside the cone.
Tremendous effort by Mac Hollins, who came into the game really nicked up. They weren't even sure how much he might play.
Well, he stretched out every bit of his 6'4" and palmed that ball one hand to get it in there.
Remember, it was Hollins' idea to come out with Switzer and Howard to wear the robes last week against Pitt and let the nation know that you can't sleep on us. Robes, slippers, whatever. Carolina wide awake on offense, though, back after this. Florida State took the opening drive of, or at least their first possession of the second half, and scored a touchdown. But Clement Whitfield on the return got down at the 24. And Rudolph dropped a potential touchdown pass in the first half. Francois looking for somebody, going to take off. And was tackled at the 47-yard line, got about 4 or 5. Holcomb making the stop for North Carolina. Second down coming up for the Seminoles.
Hard for Francois to get comfortable in the pocket with the heat that's been on him today.
First Saturday in October. A big surprise so far here in Tallahassee. Florida State, who began the season #2 in the rankings, keep their hopes alive. Cook tiptoeing and trying to find a seam over midfield at the 49. Setting up a third down and about 3 to go. Got 4 on the play.
They've
4
not
minutes
been,
to go.
They've not been good on third down, and they've not been good getting the ball to wide receivers. They've not been productive on the outside today. I think Rudolph has 1 catch, 1 big drop.
Izzo in motion, now sets. They're going to run it on third down and get stoned right at the line of scrimmage. Good surge up front by that Tar Heel defense led by Aaron Crawford. Oz Jones also in the neighborhood, and a team that has been maligned, a unit that has been criticized and scrutinized for the last several weeks, giving up big numbers rushing, has come alive and done a nice job here. First time they've gone for it on 4th down this year.
You know, you miss this, you might lose the game right here and now.
Showing confidence in his quarterback, gets the first down, and then some. Francois out of bounds at the 32. So Jimbo Fisher takes a gamble and comes up big.
And a big sigh of relief as they run a quarterback counter, get a couple guys out in front of him, and Francois picks it up. Now you have a chance, but still Florida State, the wide receivers have not been productive. So much pressure on Cook to make plays. Someone's got to help Francois on the outside.
18-yard gain. First and 10. Cook trying to get to the edge and brought down at about the 28-yard line. Rod, let's go back to that last 4th down gamble. How much does that say, I don't trust my defense, if you're Jimbo Fisher?
I think it says that, and I think they were feeling a bit of desperation. And, you know, it's late 3rd quarter. You're going to get 3-4 possessions, at least maybe 5. So there is a sense of desperation right now for this Florida State team. That's why they went for it.
2nd and 7. They retain possession here. Ball at the 29. Cook set real deep in that backfield. Almost more than the customary 7 yards. Little play fake. Francois completes it to his tight end at the 14-yard line. Maven Saunders with another reception for 15 yards and another first down.
That is about the 4th tight end dragging across the middle they've run today. And it's worked for them because they really haven't had a chance to get anything to the receivers.
Is that an old Bill Walsh play?
Oh, yeah.
Is that one of your Stanford deals?
Oh, yeah, layers.
I thought you might recognize that. 1st and 10. Cook into the boundary. Tackled right at the 10-yard line. Cook with his 15th 100-yard-plus rushing game of his career. Donnie Miles making the stop. Dalvin Cook out of Miami, Florida, a guy that learned about hard work and perseverance, going to school, then football practice, and then putting in a nice long shift at his dad's car wash down there in Miami, Florida. 2nd and 6. Cook tripped up just before he was into the end zone by Cole Holcomb. And it's 1st and goal for Florida State.
He is such a strong runner. He cuts back, falls forward, powerful legs, hard to arm tackle him. He should touch it again.
Still 1st and goal. Cook tackled at the 3. It'll be 2nd and goal. Cook showing good patience as time winds down at the end of the 3rd quarter now. Florida State trailing 28-14. A 22-game home field winning streak on the line. The longest winning streak in the nation. But that's the furthest thing from Coach Fisher's mind right now. He simply wants a touchdown. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to ESPN College Football presented by Exxon and Mobil. Start of the 4th quarter, 15 minutes to play. Florida State at a critical juncture here. 2nd and goal, down by 14 points.
They're not afraid to run Francois in this situation.
Empty formation. That's what they do. Trying to hit the edge, but he can't get there. Stopped at about the 2-yard line. 3rd and goal coming up. 4-down territory?
Well, maybe. I think so when you went for it on 4th down, but I need Dalvin Cook out there. I mean, if I'm going to trust anybody on 3rd down or 4th down, it's got to be Cook.
Yeah, already went for it on 4th down earlier.
I mean, he is arguably the best running back in college football. He's hard to arm tackle, doesn't generally give up the football.
Cook again, went high. And they're going to mark it short of the end zone. 4th and goal coming up. One more look.
No, he
There's no
doesn't get
way
in.
he got in.
No, does not get in. Does not get in. But you have no choice here. You went for it on a 4th and 3. You have to go here. And it's still Cook. This is his team.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Frederick Jones, number 55, in as an extra blocker. There he is in motion. Cook again, easily. Touchdown, Seminoles. His 2nd rushing touchdown today. And now within 8.
It's not the classic drive that you draw up, but Florida State will take it.
They don't have a scoreboard for beauty points. Extra point good, and it's a 7-point game. 15 plays, 76-yard drive, using up a little under 9 minutes on the clock. Dalvin Cook cooking with some hot fish grease right now, folks. He's rolling. Back after this. Welcome back, everyone, to Tallahassee. Mark Jones along with Rod Gilmore. Quinn Kesnick down the field. The Seminoles back to within 7. Trailed by as many as 21 in this game. This is going to come out to the 25-yard line, 1st and 10. The offense respond. And he's sacked back at the 20. Going to be a loss of about 5. Derek Nottie and DeMarcus Christmas saying hello.
That is the most pressure they've had inside by those tackles, Nottie and Christmas, and they just shut things down inside. Now the question is, where do you find Switzer? Switzer's been the guy they've gone to when they've had issues. This is sort of his time.
That pass complete at the 26-yard line to Bug Howard. gets 5. He was the clutch guy last week, folks. If you're just joining us, he caught the game-winning touchdown on the final drive for Carolina against Pitt. Looking at 3rd down coming up.
I'm assuming they will double Switzer in the slot. Number 3, top of the screen. There he is. He is the guy. Right there.
Switzer already over 100 yards receiving today. Trubisky waiting, misfiring, and that wasn't even close.
We don't know if it was the throw or the route, but that is the biggest miscommunication between quarterback and receiver for North Carolina. See, I'm talking about it right now. You're supposed to go out, man. Really? It's going in.
Matt Collins, number 13, the intended receiver on the play, and now Coach Fedora going to get them all on the same page. This is the first punt of the day for Tom Sheldon, a 27-year-old Australian. And boy, is there a story there. An end-over-end punt. A fair catch called at the 35 by Bobo Wilson, a 39-yard punt. So RPOs will bring that scenario up all the time. Put a bootleg action, and Izzo put his hat down and got out to the 43-yard line.
You know, when you think about what's at stake for Florida State, I mean, everyone assumed that they would be in the hunt in the ACC and a playoff contending team. You're a little concerned about them if you watch them today. I mean, they struggled defensively. They're struggling to pass the ball to their wide receivers today. Hard to say right now that this is a playoff team.
Jimbo Fisher underscoring that, telling us we got a lot of young guys. And so far, the young guys don't know that they don't know. But we do know that Bobo Wilson made that catch for the first down at the 41-yard line, working against Des Lawrence to gain 16.
They are a hard-playing, resilient team. As you see Wilson work his way to the inside. They have come back before. They don't give up when they're down.
1st and 10. North Carolina side of midfield. 10.5 minutes to go. Designed quarterback run, and Francois behind the block of Dalvin Cook, tackled by Holcomb and Miles. We talked about Cook at the top of the show, Rod, and an ideal number of touches was 20. They're well beyond that so far. How do you decide how judicious to be in using him?
You're trying to win.
Okay.
It's that simple. 24. I mean, if he's got to touch it 30 times to keep their ACC championship hopes alive, he'll get it that many times or more.
4 receivers out on this formation for Francois. Cook out of the backfield, has a blocker in front. He's got the middle of the field. Dalvin Cook keeps those legs going all the way to the 10-yard line. First down, Seminoles. 24-yard gain.
Just a well-done little screenplay. Just have him run over the middle, release your lineman right in front of him, and Cook does the rest. Sets them up nicely inside the 15.
Spotted at the 11-yard line. Francois going to take off, found a seam over the right side. Takes it down to the 7-yard line, picked up close to 4 on the play.
Well, they're doing a nice job of mixing things up. You heard Q talk about this North Carolina defense being winded. They run them to the side and they pound them inside. Defense is a little winded.
Cook there standing with his hands on his hips.
This is
stays in the ball game.
This is the second long drive back to back that defense has been out there. The 11th play of this drive.
Freddie Stevenson, the fullback. Cook, the deep back out of the eye. He's got a lead blocker. Cuts it back. Makes it down to the 3. It'll be 3rd down and about a long 2 to go, Rod.
Yeah, Cook is tired too, but see how he's dragging North Carolina guys? They're tired too. I mean, we saw them kind of really getting in front, trying to hang on, but he's dragging
gassed.
Tar Heel guys.
He's gassed,
Yeah,
though,
he's
Rob.
gassed, too. 27 rushes, 5 receptions. So much at stake.
It'd be tough to figure in the ACC Championship if you go 2 losses down. Third and 2. Cook spins. Touchdown Seminoles. A little Cook magic for you.
This is just heart and toughness. He is dead tired, throws one guy off, and runs through a couple more tackles. Yeah, the Tar Heel guys are winded, and they're having trouble wrapping up, but Cook was determined to get in, and he's winded, and he fought his way in.
Real portrait of persistence that time. Cook with his 3rd rushing touchdown today. Look at the spin move. He sauced on him. And we're knotted at 28. Great finish coming up. An intriguing finish coming up. And this last few minutes of the ball game. 5:11 to go. And Carolina will start from the 25. Trubisky keeps it and is tackled at the 31. Josh Sweat making the stop at the plate, picks up about 2.
And if you are Florida State defensively, you're thinking, take away number 3, make somebody else make a play. You don't want Switzer to catch one of those bubble screens or digs inside to get 10 yards or so. You want someone else to have to make the play.
He's the inside receiver at the top of your screen. Trubisky looks his way and finds him. And the 42-yard line sets up a 3rd down, about 8 to go. And the Seminole defense needs a stop here with under 4 minutes to go after a 10-yard gain. Florida State can't afford to lose another conference game in this the conference home opener. 3rd and 8. Carolina looking for their 2nd consecutive late game rally. Complete. Who else? Switzer continues to eviscerate that defense.
Are we flashing back to last week? Remember the game-winning drive against Pitt last week? They converted a couple of 4th down situations. Switzer big on that drive.
And here he is again on the toss. They're going to lose some yards here. Could have been worse as Logan made it back to the 45. Let's go down to Quint.
Yeah, against Pitt, 4th and 3, Switzer. 4th and 7, Switzer. 4th and 6, Prohl. 4th and 9, Switzer. You see a pattern?
Yeah, and it's a pattern that would serve Florida State to think about doubling Switzer when he's on the field. He's not out there right now.
Prohl is to the bottom of your screen, number 7. Trubisky looks the other way, though, and finds his reliable receiver, his other one, Mac Hollins.
Those guys who wore the robes last week, they're weapons, and they're alert, and they're making plays. They've got so many weapons, and Hollins and Switzer and Prohl.
1st and 10. Another quick completion. That's Thomas Jackson still on his feet. Touchdown! Tiptoeing down the sidelines for the score. You talk about buzzkill here in Tallahassee.
Well, this is just a simple screen to the guy who's a former walk-on, now on scholarship, got a block by 13 Hollins and stayed in bounds. That's just poor tackling by Florida State and presence by Jackson to make sure he never gave up on the play.
McFadden and Marshall both missed opportunities to bring him down, Rod, and it results in a touchdown for North Carolina. Almost a routine feel to it, and the extra point blocked. The extra point no good. So with 2:31 to go, the Seminoles actually catch a little bit of a break and a reprieve with that blocked extra point. 2:31 to go. Stick around. Mark Jones, Rod Gilmore, Quinn Kessnick down on the field. A 6-point lead for North Carolina. Whitfield back deep with that world-class speed, but he won't get an opportunity. 25, Francois threw it behind Wilson, but what a catch by Bobo Wilson at the 32. Sets up a very manageable 3rd and about 3.
Really nice route by Wilson, kind of a stutter step to get inside, a little dig. They've been able to throw the ball inside with the tight end crossing or with the dig route. That's been the best play for them, throwing to receivers outside.
That was a tough catch.
Don't stop yourself.
Francois wide open. Cook on the move. Has the first down. Still rolling. Cook at the 33. Seminoles still alive. And there's a flag. And now they pick it up at the 20.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Defense, number 6. 15-yard penalty. First down.
So they'll tack some more yards on that 41-yard gain, Rod.
Well, this is your guy. There's the late hit, way late. Stewart coming in. Dominic Green, that was in late, very, very late hit. And Cook making them pay. Actually got tackled by his own guy, Bobo Wilson, who was blocked into him.
Ball all the way down to the 18-yard line. 1st and 10 with 1:22 to go.
This is where Jimbo needs to remind and settle his young team and his young quarterback. They have plenty of time. A couple of timeouts. The clock is not an issue for them right now.
Auden Tate, number 18, is their tall receiver, who has 3 touchdowns into the end zone. That's who he was going for. Tate has 5 receptions on the season, Rod. 3 of them for touchdowns. He's a big target at 6'5". Don't forget, coming up tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, number 3 Louisville, number 5 Clemson, pivotal ACC battle.
Now, that game matters to Florida State if they're able to pull this one out here today. That game could lead to a potential 3-way tie in the division.
2nd and 10. Cook. Got a block out in front of him. Cook is tackled at about the 13 by Andre Smith. 57 seconds to go. Carolina with a couple of timeouts left. Florida State burning one there. They've got 1 remaining, and Jimbo ready to make his move. For Florida State, they need this one, folks. Under a minute to go. 3rd and 6. Got to get to the 8-yard line for the first down. Francois completes it to the 5 for the first down. Big catch by Rudolph, who dropped a touchdown catch earlier today. His first reception of the game.
Surprised that there was no pressure by North Carolina. Now this is the Dalvin Cook time. You still have a timeout, managing the clock wisely.
1st and goal. Blitz coming. Batted down at the line of scrimmage by Naz Jones. Jones, who is the voice of that defense for Carolina.
So, Jonesy, when you're playing defensive back down here now, you know there's not a lot of room. You prefer to have man coverage because you know you can bring some pressure, and whatever has happened is going to happen quickly. So you remind each other, do not back up. You play your guy straight up right away. Do not back up. Do not let him catch the ball on the goal line to have the touchdown. You be aggressive down here.
Looked like he was looking for Bobo Wilson. That winning streak on the line, in jeopardy right now. 22 consecutive wins. Longest in the nation. Francois pulling the trigger. Incomplete. Flag. Intended for Tate. Being covered by Renee.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. Ball be placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
Trace Renee, the culprit.
And that ball was thrown so hard and so high, it probably wasn't going to be caught.
I was going to say, is that catchable?
Yeah, but you know what? The way the officials look at catchable, they assume every receiver is Superman. Absolutely. And that if there's any possible way a human can get up and make a catch, it's assumed that will happen.
First and goal. Speaking of Superman, they got Cook dotting the I. Got a big day already. A couple of touchdowns. Francois tipped and incomplete, trying to find Tate again. That's the third time he's gone to him in the red zone here on this final drive.
Not a lot of room there. A lot of congestion. Ball gets tipped. They're fortunate this did not get picked off. I still say, if you're a Florida State fan, there is time for Cook. There is time to run Dalvin Cook. You've got a timeout you're sitting on. There is time to slip him out of the backfield. There is no reason to give up on Dalvin Cook down here inside the 5-yard line.
Let's see where they line him up. 10 on the play clock, 29 seconds to go. Francois in trouble. Oh, he ducks. Touchdown! He ducked out of trouble like Houdini.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
What a move right here. I mean, that was magical.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
Now they rule it as a touchdown on the field. And it looked to me in that replay like he had possession when he broke the plane and then lost the ball. So
Ricky Aguayo now with a chance to give them the lead with 23 seconds to go. Aguayo has missed 3 field goals today, folks. It hasn't been a duck walk for him. I guess that his confidence is a little bit low right now. Nothing is considered routine. And he knocks it through. Seminoles come back in the dying seconds to take a 1-point lead. Francois with his 2nd rushing touchdown this season. They trail by as many as 21 points. And he's rallied them back.
Well, and North Carolina had plenty of opportunities today, and they'll still have another 23 seconds. But things that got away from them.
Remember against Ole Miss, Francois led his team back from down 22. And they've had a 21-point fourth quarter here this afternoon. North Carolina with 2 timeouts remaining. They'll start from the 25. It's been a story of missed opportunities, Rob.
Well, they had plenty of chances. How about this 4th down play that they chose to attempt and didn't go for the 3 points instead? How about right before half, the Hood fumble that kept points off the board? How about the drop pass for the touchdown they didn't get? And then the missed safety wasn't a safety. And then last but not least, the missed PAT, which opened the door for Florida State to go ahead. And guess who got that blocked PAT?
Yeah, Wally Ame. 1st and 10. You got 23 seconds to work with.
And 2 timeouts.
They're only rushing 3, Rod. And open in the middle of the field. A field goal gets them the win. They got to get into range. Weiler has a long this year of 49 yards. 23-yard game. Trubisky downfield. Switzer open. And he couldn't dive and catch it.
2 timeouts. And they need to get to the 35. This would have put them there.
Wow.
They've got 2 timeouts. You can work the middle. They've got time for a couple of plays. But they need to use the middle of the field.
They're going to get down to about, as you said, the 35-yard line to get into Nick Weiler's field goal range.
They need about 17 yards.
Keep an eye on Switzer. Working the middle of the field. Incomplete, and a flag thrown. He was going to Hollins, and there was contact on that side of the
Pass
field.
interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's against Tavares McFadden.
You know, Jonesy, this puts them in an interesting position. This doesn't put them where they need to be for a field goal, but with only 4 seconds left, they're probably going to have to try this.
Well, here he comes.
I mean,
There's a look at Weiler.
Yeah, this is going to be about a 54-yarder. How about Larry Fedora looking for a signature win that he hasn't had in his tenure at North Carolina. Florida State trying to keep pace with Clemson and Louisville. So much at stake for both these teams.
Weiler from 54 yards for the win. Up. And good! The Tar Heels come in and steal one. And the parade has begun for the Tar Heels around the field.
Talk about the kick of his life.
A season-long 54-yarder. A career-long 54-yarder. Downstairs to Quint.
Coach, I saw you call the kicker over with about 5 minutes to go in the game, and you asked him what his range was. What did he tell you?
30. We knew it was going to be 35. I just said, hey, look, we're either going to be in a 2-minute situation where you're going to need to kick a field goal to win, or we're going to be in a 4-minute situation. So get ready. That's all.
What were you thinking when he attempted that 54-yarder?
He's made them in practice, and he was due today.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark.
Coach Fedora and his place kicker, Nick Weiler, have a special type of honest communication. He'll ask him before every game, how far do you think you can go? And he counts on a realistic assessment from his place kicker. Well, he had room to spare on that one, Rod.
Well, he missed a 51-yarder earlier that he pushed to the right. It had enough legs, so you thought maybe he had enough, but it was going to take the kick of his life to get it done, and he nailed it. And with that, gives Fedora a signature win over Florida State, snapping a 22 home game win streak for the Seminoles, and possibly knocking Florida State out of the race in the ACC.
Yeah, that's their second loss in conference play. He hadn't attempted a 50-yarder in his entire career. He was 1 for 2 today, and the big one for the win. They win at 37-35. What a game! And then, Burke, that's a tough act to follow, partner.